What's up, y'all? I'm out here hanging out on the range. It's been cold and cloudy out here all day. The temperature's steady dropping. My hands are starting to get numb, so this might be the last one of the day. But as always, the jelly contraption's out here ready for duty. I got the chrono and 2 blocks of gel. Now, I've done a couple of tests in this block up here. Both of them were 40 Smith & Wesson tests, so I'll leave some links up above if y'all hadn't seen those. But I should have plenty of room up here in this front half to get a couple rounds in there and see what's going on with them. And as usual, during this cold weather, we're going to use the heavy clothing barrier with the layer of denim, layer of fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt material. Now, as you can already see, I'm testing out a couple of 300 Blackout rounds out here. These SIG coppers were requested as a test, so I figured I'd put another one up against them. So we're going to do these 120 grain SIG coppers, solid copper, expanding hollow point, really nice nickel plated case, big old long copper projectile on it. And I figured we might as well put them up against the good old Winchester Silvertip. So these are 150 grain with what they call the defense tip in them. So should be really interesting to see how these do. Now, as far as these box ballistics, they're really not going to apply because we're using a shorter barrel out here, but the Silvertips is saying 1900 at the muzzle, and they're saying it's out of a 16-inch barrel. The SIG copper saying 2250, but it doesn't say what size barrel, probably 16 or greater for sure. Now, like I said, the tool we're going to be using is actually about half that size. It's an 8.5-inch 300 Blackout chambered AR. But this ought to be a pretty good one. I'm very curious to see what the difference in performance is going to be out of these two. So let me get us set back up and let's get started. All right, y'all, let's get some speeds on these things. I'm going to do a 5-round average from each one of them. We're going to start out with the Winchester Silvertips first. Let's see what these 150 grainers are moving. 1733, 1709, 1702, 1706, and what's that, 1713. So not too bad out of this 8-inch, 8.5-inch barrel. Let's check that average. All right, so our 5-round average on the Winchester Silvertips is 1,712 feet per second. Let's get this reset and let's check out them SIG coppers. All right, let's check out these SIG coppers. I suspect these are going to be moving quite a bit faster being 120 grain, but let's see what we get from them. 2052, 2049, 2077, 2045, and 2076. So definitely faster. Let's check that average. All right, y'all, so the 5-round average from these SIG coppers was 2,059 feet per second. And if you remember from those Silvertips, it was 1712. So you talking about 347 feet per second faster from those SIG 120 grainers. I figured it was going to be right much faster just because of the weight, but that's definitely a significant difference. So should be really interesting to see what happens in the gel. I think both of them are going to perform fantastic, but let me get this reset. Y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's elemental jelly time. We'll put 1 round of each into the gel. We're going to start with these Silvertips first. It's going to be a little bit tricky because of my height over bore with this red dot, but I'm aiming out into nothing, but should be okay. All right, I think I actually went a little bit too high. Let me go check that out. Yep, just a little bit too high on that one. It skimmed out the top up there. So it's tricky. I'm telling you, it's tricky trying to judge this holdover because of this dot. But let's try it lower here. All right, that one should have been a good one. That's definitely lower than I wanted, but let's go down there and see what happened. All right, y'all, that one definitely did not go as planned. It was a perfect hit straight through the block, right in the middle. But then we got a curve down and it hit the board and went clean out the other end. So obviously there was no kind of expansion on that. You can see where it tumbled at the end and I'll show y'all here. But I'm gonna try this copper. I'm kind of almost expecting about the same thing, but since this is moving faster, it may go ahead and expand. But let's see what happens down there, y'all. I'm gonna try to put this one up above that, but this holdover is really throwing me off bad. All right, I think I actually went barely right above and to the right. Let me see what we got down there. All right, y'all, no good on that one either. I'm not really sure what the deal is. It went completely through both blocks and out the other end. That copper did too. So what I did is flip them around backwards. I'm gonna try my best to catch one. I've got some towels behind it and a board and a piece of cinder block. I really didn't even bring anything to catch it because I expected these to expand just fine. But let's see what happens. I got another Silvertip loaded back up. I don't think they're gonna expand, but let's see if we can at least catch something, whether it expands or not. All right, we definitely had a good hit. Let's go down there and see what happened. All right, y'all, that one down there was definitely not ideal either, but we ended up catching that one in the first towel after both blocks, so it went clean through both blocks. But let's see what this copper will do. I'm not feeling real good about this one either. We'll probably catch it in the towels down at the end, but let's see if we can get it to expand at least. All right, that was definitely a good solid hit. Let me go down there and see if we got it. All right, y'all, let's check out this mess we got down here. I'll give y'all plenty of angles so I can try to show you what went on here, but honestly, I'm not really sure if I know what exactly went on here, but let's check these last two. So the last one we took, that's the copper right here in the front. It came in here, very nice wound channel, really nice disruption. You can tell it did start expanding, came on through the block here into the second block, and it's sitting right here backwards, and it is expanded, but you can tell that it's obviously not expanded as much as it should be. And then behind that, as you can see, that's the Silvertip, the second Silvertip, the one I caught in the towels. As you can see, it came in really nice wound action, really nice disruption there. It did drop its little black insert. I'll show you all that here in a second, but kept on trucking through the first block into the second block, all the way through and completely out the other end. I'll show you the exit hole for that. And it is expanded also. It was expanded when it hit that towel. Now, what I will say is it didn't tear the towel, it didn't punch a hole in the towel, so I suspect that it was at the end of its travel, but you know, that's just totally a guess. Now, as far as the penetration, both of the Silvertips went all the way through 32 inches of gel. One of the coppers went completely through 32 inches, and then this one copper that we caught here is sitting at 20 1/4 inches, and like I say, it is turned around backwards and does have some expansion to it. But let me see if I can give y'all a better picture of what happened with those first two rounds. So these are the first ones we took. This is where the cloth was. The one on the bottom here, that was the first one. That was the Silvertip. As you can see, comes in, not a whole lot of disruption, nothing like the ones from the second round. Now, it came through here into the second block right there. That's obviously a tumble. I can just about bet on that. And then as you can see, it came out of that tumble, out of the end of the block and hit that board and bounced who knows where. And then of course right up above that, that was the first Sig copper. So pretty much the same story here, nowhere near the disruption we saw from the second ones. There you can see it there, still going, all the way to the end of this block here, the second block, and boom, out the end. So 32 inches of gel, that copper and that first Silvertip cleared. And then again, from this other side, like I said, that's the copper. That's the one we caught. As you can see, comes in here into the second block, and there it is sitting backwards. And then here's that second Silvertip from a different angle. So there's a little black insert off the tip of it I was talking about. As you can see, way more disruption out of both of these. Now here's the Silvertip still carrying through. As you can see, right up under that one, you can see it slipping through. It's that little single channel, and as you can see, it goes right out the end, and there's the exit hole for it right there. All right, y'all, let's check out these projectiles. So over here, that's your Silvertip. Right here is your Sig copper. So as you can see, you got some expansion out of both of these. Now, not a whole lot, but again, we're only working with an 8.5 inch barrel, so you know, it stands to reason we're not going to get all the expansion we should get out of these, but not bad on expansion from what I've seen for other 300 Blackouts in the past. But let's get some measurements on these and see if they lost any material. Now, oddly enough, I can actually see some little bits of copper from this one, so I know it lost a little bit. It started at 120 and it's at 119.5 0.7. So like I said, I can see a couple little bits in there for sure. And then this Silvertip started at 150 and it's at 143.7. So a little bit of loss on that one also. Now, as far as the expansion, we'll start with the Silvertip here. It's very irregular, but right there we got 467, 411, and 392. So like I said, not a whole lot of expansion, but we did get some. And then this Sig Copper looks like about the same story. Got 458, 471, and 403. So pretty similar on the expansion between both of these. And there you have it, y'all, the 300 Blackout Sig Elite Copper and the Winchester Silvertip. I gotta say, this was kind of a weird test here. I'm not sure exactly what caused what we saw. It's really hard to say. Did that cloth have any kind of bearing on these things possibly not expanding as soon as they should have and letting them go further? I mean, like I say, it's really hard to say because this Silvertip without the cloth, it still cleared 32. So I don't know. All I can say is if you're not worried about over penetration, which I'm personally not, these look like they do a fine job. Now, if you're worried about over penetration, you might want to rethink these and go with something else. All right, y'all, I'm wrapping it up for this 300 Blackout test. Definitely not what I expected to see, but I think we got some interesting stuff to look at anyway. Like I said, it's hard to say what went on with those first two rounds, whether that cloth had any bearing on what happened with them. I don't think it did, especially with the Silvertip, because that's not even a hollow point. It's got that insert in it, so there was really no clogging to go on there. And from that first one, it didn't even drop that tip, so apparently it kept that tip all the way through. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this one. Like I said, I'm not worried about over penetration in the situation that I'm in, so I wouldn't have a problem still using either one of these rounds, but let me know what y'all's thoughts are on it. If you did enjoy the video, take a second to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell notification icon, and hopefully you can get notified when I upload new stuff. Y'all take a second if you would and check out those affiliate links in the video description. If you shop through Amazon, hit up that storefront link. You'll go straight through Amazon like normal from there. Don't cost you any extra money, but anything you buy on Amazon after that, I get a kickback from them towards the channel. Same deal with those axle links. If you're in the market for some really nice ear pro, hit up those axle links and you can save a pile of money instead of going straight through their site. Like I always tell you, I appreciate all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all out there for supporting the channel. It's getting super cold out here, so I'm gonna pack my stuff up and get out of here. I got a bunch of good stuff headed y'all's way though, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.